online is definitely a wonderful platform, but when you live with that culture, you
Absolutely.
accept the culture
Right.
in a more niche manner. I learned life much more than anybody else. I mean, if I look at the last 10 years, the world has become has shown so much of acceptance,
Right.
which was never there earlier. Disability is just not the word. I feel it is a capability on a second step, which probably we neurotypical do not understand. Or probably we don't want to understand. Disability is not only being mad.
True.
I mean, going to psychiatrist is not that you've got mental illness. It is just that the child is differently wired. If you're accepting somebody, accept on a very parallel level. And it works.
A psychiatrist, life coach, image consultant, and a German translator. We have a multi-talented woman sitting with us, Ms. Mona Chadda. Hi, ma'am. I welcome you on board to the WitChat Show.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good. I am good today.
You have a very interesting profile. Apart from being a psychiatrist, you have also ventured into different areas as a life coach, an image consultant, and very interesting, you're a German translator.
And an interpreter too.
Wow, that's more amazing. More wings to your cap. So firstly, I'd like to ask, why German? It's a language that's up and trending now, but I'm sure with your years of experience.
Right. I started learning German when I was in grade 9th.
Wow.
The thing was, I was very ill, and we had relatives coming from Germany who was a doctor. And I was fascinated with the kind of speed she had. And every time she used to say, like, no, only Germans can do that. Only Germans can do that. And that's how my first interest of learning German began. And then the journey went on. I did my initial learning from Max Miller Bhavan. And then gradually did couple of courses here. Then I went to Germany. I also completed my literature, Ph.D. in German literature. And then came back to India, then started German translation. I am from a very small place. So you name the school and I was the only German teacher that time. So Monday go to this side schools, Tuesday go to those side schools.
Right.
So this is how the journey went on.
That's very amazing that you went to Germany and you had like a first-hand experience, because usually nowadays we do a lot of online learning. So
those days that platform did not exist.
So you have a more authentic feel to the whole experience. That is amazing.
And knowing a culture, I somehow feel online is definitely a wonderful platform, but when you live with that culture, you accept the culture in a more niche manner.
Right. You were able to get the crux of the language and actually absorb it in a way that the natives talk actually.
Correct.
That's amazing, ma'am. And you're also a psychiatrist.
Yes.
I mean,
that is my qualification that I studied at. So learning psychology was something that I always wanted to do. And I'm very thankful that my father supported when everybody said, doctor banna hai to ye wala banna hai, ye banna hai. So I was like, my dad never had any restrictions. He just said, do what you feel happy in. Immaterial, how is it going to pay back to you in life? And I think everything I'm getting from what I like.
Ma'am, psychiatry, like, I'm sure years back
Criminal
it must have
and child
been...
are my two major subjects.
Wow. So you must have had a lot of experiences that give you perspective, I'm sure.
It did.
Right?
Yeah, there are many stories. I mean, if I begin with one,
if you can just share one with us, we'll be very curious.
Okay, I would like to share something which is not very beautiful to hear, but yes, a truth of life.
Right.
While I was doing my cases, I came across a lady. I would not like to name the lady and neither the state.
Right.
So that lady was a daughter of a very good MLA, and they were in an outhouse of their own land. The building was under construction, and the workers who were there had unfortunately raped her, brutally raped her. She had to actually leave that place and come to Pune. We sat with her, I spoke with her. You know, the kind of dreams she dreamt, it actually moved my career on a very different level. I'm not saying that I'm very weak as to I started feeling what she felt, but yes, I think a women to women connect was something that actually connected us so well. She was my very good friend, the husband was very supportive, everything was very good, but she couldn't speak for, she could not sleep for 3 months. And in this content of healing, speaking, sharing, trying to make her brave, putting her to sleep, typically medicinally, I learned life much more than anybody else. So I would give her a real credit of, picking me for my ambition and putting me at a place wherein, you understand that life is not just feel happy and do what you want to. Life is far more than what it gives you.
Whatever it gives you, you just have
Right.
to take it somehow.
Correct.
Right? So I'm sure it must be very difficult while dealing with patients somewhere. As humans, we tend to get involved emotionally, mentally, like with their cases. How has that journey been for you personally? Dealing with your own emotions as well as dealing with your patients.
It is tough most of the time. Specifically when there are delicate issues like just what I spoke to you. Somewhere you feel hurt, somewhere you feel anger. But then you need to do a job as a job.
Absolutely.
Apart from that, when my second place where I really get moved, or rather I'll tell you, the work that gives me kick is a special. I run a school now, and the school is an inclusive school. So these children, when they come as non-verbal, verbal, they can't speak, like they come to the principal's office and say, Uto, let me sit there, that chair is better.
The innocence.
So, and when they don't speak, and gradually you teach them how to be verbal, how to express, that gives you another satisfaction of life. When my non-verbals are like, and I say, when you tell them how to say it, and gradually they start speaking, I would say it does not happen at a blink of an eye. But yes, the process, the entire journey is beautiful. And when he comes and says good morning, you feel like yes,
it was all worth it.
Yeah, the effort is all what's seriously done. And there's some kids, who specifically, if I talk about Down syndrome, they are in love with you.
Yeah.
So, there's this child of mine, I again won't like to name him. So he comes to the school and he says, I said, nahi. It's like, then, what is this one? One hug. That's it.
They have that extra unconditional love, that they have a lot to give. So actually,
anything that 7's table was 3 minutes job. The only thing is, if you learn this, a hug is there, otherwise I'm not talking to you. And he learned the table of 7. The mother, the father, the teacher, everybody is, ma'am, he does not know. Ma'am, he's not doing it. Ma'am, you're pampering him for no reason. He did it. So, there's strictness, there is condition, there's a lot of love, and most important is a lot of acceptance. That acceptance is something which rocks. Nothing else could work better.
True.
You have teachers, as I just mentioned that you named the school and I was the teacher.
There, right.
So when you come across different schools, I came across schools wherein they had no facility and they had children. There were some schools who had children And they just took it for no reason. I mean, is bar admission come hai, so let's aane do.
और आने दो.
And there were schools wherein, you know, they wanted to learn how to deal with them, but they didn't have that facility. I mean, if I look at the last 10 years, the world has become has shown so much of acceptance,
Right.
which was never there earlier.
Right.
And I think that's what we all want from the world.
Absolutely.
Acceptance.
Acceptance. I mean, from the profession that you are in and all the work that you're doing, you're seeing both sides of the world. I mean, somewhere you're also nurturing like young leaders, and I'm sure all these children that you work with have a lot of potential in them. Like
Yeah,
their dreams are very
this
big.
One very nice kid of mine. You say it, he writes it. Your speed will be less, his handwriting is fast. You change the language, he change the language. Let's say you are saying it, and there's this Maushi comes in the class and says, "Ma'am ne aapko bulaya." He'll write, "Ma'am ne aapko bulaya." Trust me, he will not write in English, he'll write it in Hindi. Again, another lady comes, he'll speak in Marathi, he will start writing in Marathi. So you will feel that potential that he has, I bet nobody else has it. But then, yeah, he was never given admission in other schools because he is a special child.
Special child.
Disability is just not the word. I feel it is a capability on a second step, which probably we neurotypical do not understand.
Do not understand.
Or probably we don't want to understand.
Right.
I think we don't want to understand.
We don't want to accept, we don't want to see that side.
Very
we just
true.
simply, but as you said, the awareness is there and it's
10
growing
years.
a lot now.
10 years.
10 years back, we did not even know. I mean, I don't know how did children actually survive like normally 10 years back.
They survive sitting at home like this.
Yeah, they were
By not
always put in a
talking.
cocoon, thus breaking down their confidence on its own. That's really sad, ma'am. Other than this, I'm sure I've also read about you that you give seminars in many colleges as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
There are too many. You can't just pinpoint one.
Here again about the special thing that I would like to highlight something here is, as a school, you know, when we see the child is a bit different than others and we call the parent and we discuss, the parent also does not have the acceptance. And if you tell them consult somebody, he just cuts short and says, "Mere ghar mein koi pagal nahi hai." Disability is not only being mad.
True.
I mean, going to psychiatrist is not that you've got mental illness. It is just that the child is differently wired.
It can be hard on their part also to understand sometimes.
I think they're not open to
acceptance.
And they feel, you know, it's like, I am normal, my wife is normal, my father was normal, my grandfather was normal. How can we have something abnormal? It's not abnormal.
It's not, yeah.
This is something that, you know, I really want everybody to learn.
I think like schools and colleges should actually spread like more awareness about this.
True.
So, what are your opinions on special children there are a lot of debates on them having proper place in a normal education system.
They should be.
Do you think, and what would you suggest as somebody who's had so much experience for them to easily adapt to this policy?
See, as I mentioned about the school that I run, we equip them not with extra help, but we equip them with extra support.
Right.
I mean, just because he's a special child doesn't mean he has to get all the leverage. No. If you're accepting somebody, accept on a very parallel level, and it works.
Right.
And I think this is something that each and every school should do today. We have experiences when parents come after 2 years and 3 years of whatever school experience they have. Sometimes it hurts. I mean, if you really think you cannot do it, just don't give admission. rather than, torturing and making his life so damn difficult that he cannot come out of it.
Right, that really takes a
It's a
toll on
trauma.
the child, right?
It's a trauma.
I mean, if you like to share one of your most memorable experiences with one of the, like any children or anything that you've had.
I would like to talk about one of my kid who's a Salman Khan fan.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so when you have to get something done from him, you have to tell him, ये कर लोगे तो सलमान खान आपको पेप्सी भेजेगा. Then he does this and he says, हर घूंट में swag है. And then 15 minutes, that particular task is over. And yes, there's a very sweet lie we do it with him. There's a brother of mine. He has a physique like Salman Khan. So he'll stand somewhere in the shady side so the face is not seen. He'll make a video call to that kid of mine, and he will tell him, पढ़ लिया आपने तो पेप्सी भेजता हूँ. And trust me, my kid really learns. And then he also sends a Pepsi for him. So, it's a very small effort, but not everyone is like Satish Bhaiya, my brother that I'm talking about. So, not everyone would take that minute to, he's nobody to him. I mean, my brother is nobody to him. But if he knows that this one call is going to make so much of difference in his education, he makes it. So, if we all take that one little step, I think we'll be at a very different place.
Right.
And it's a must.
It's a must. I mean, giving back to the society, we're taking a lot from it. We should all actually make time and give back. I mean, that's what you're doing. You actually give back a lot.
I live with the world's most beautiful people.
We can actually see it when you're saying the joy. It's a different feeling, like.
It's a principal's office. I'll share one more. I hope it's okay.
Oh, definitely.
There's this little kid who comes. She's in grade 7th. So, she's very sweet. Then she'll come and she'll peep into my door. My school has a policy, no knock. No, nothing. Just open and come. Whether it's a teacher and even if somebody is sitting there, it's okay. You are in the school. This is your school. You are a priority. Absolutely. I mean, something called child-centric. So, I am a child-centric person. Not that only my textbook is child-centric. Yes. No, it's a child-centric.
Individual too.
So, she'll open the door and she'll say, busy? I said, no, beta. Then she'll look at the guest who's sitting in front of me. Then she'll say, busy. I said, no, you can tell me. Then she'll tell me. She'll pull a chair and then she'll have some difficulty in her class, or probably she needs something. She doesn't want to sit in that bench or this bench. She'll come, she'll say. I said, then what to do? She'll be quiet for 2 minutes. She'll look into your eyes and she'll gauge you, okay? Should I say it or not? And these kids are called special. She'll gauge into my eyes and she'll say, I just thought, I said, okay, what? May I sit with another friend? I said, why do you want to do that? She has new pencil today. Wow. I mean, she wants to do what she wants to do, but just imagine the kind of permission she's looking for, the kind of acceptance she's looking for. Now, this particular kid, when she is not able to express something, she starts spitting. So, it's such a small thing, but the entire society is going to get angry. Oh, she spits. Please don't let her sit next to my child. She spits. No. Ask her why she's spitting. We spoke to her. She said, when I cannot express, I cannot say, I think I should spit. So, when she cannot express herself, she spits, and all the people around her, oh, she's a bad girl, she's a bad girl. But then when you talk to her, you ask her when she's not able to express herself, then since she doesn't know, she uses some kind of aggression. And her aggression is spit. Okay, you understood the aggression. What you need to do? You need to introduce the class a concept of being a hero. So, there's a small storytelling. Whenever something happens which is not very regular, I put it into a story form and explain my other children, and they understand. I tell you, all the children in my school, I mean the neurotypical children, are so supportive to special children. Each class has 3 kids. So it could be autism. The only thing I don't deal is with blind because I don't know Braille.
Right.
Otherwise, we have all
sorts of
disabilities.
children.
And each class may have 2 spectrum, 1 Down syndrome, 3 Down syndrome, 2 Down, however it is.
However it is.
But if you have the concept of becoming a hero for the neurotypical children, they are much better guide, therapist, mentor, doctor, optician, whatever. They are better than everybody else because it is from your own age.
They resonate with each other.
That's what acceptance.
Right. I mean, children are like sponge. Anything you tell them, they believe it. And that's the perfect age to actually, feed in this information.
True.
In the way that you were
The kind
doing
of empathy that neurotypical children in my school has, I bet it nobody else can have it.
Definitely
And I don't
not.
tell them. I mean, I haven't made that A will be a sider for B or B is going to be a sider for C. No.
They take
Never.
initiative.
They just take initiative. Someone says, "Ma'am, she's so cute. She looks at me so nicely. Can I be her friend?" So you don't have to ask me.
True.
One more incident if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, please.
I have a list of them.
Yeah.
There was a kid called Saket who's no more in the world. So Saket never went to school for 8 years. And in the 9th year or 8th year of his life, he came to us. So everybody had a question, which class? He cannot go to playgroup, he cannot go to nursery, he cannot go. I said, it does not matter, just let him come to the school. And the parent was, no, he actually does this, no, he actually does that. I said, it's okay. If the mother wants, she can be in the school, but let him get into the school. So this non-verbal kid, first word he spoke in life was friend. He did not say mama, he did not say papa. The first word he said was friend. And he was so happy that people are talking to him because this is a very sad part of our society that no sooner, even in a restaurant, if you go to a restaurant, cut, everybody will look at that parent,
Right.
Sikhaya nahi kya kuch? No. Why don't we as people, put ourselves into that condition and say, beta, what's wrong? Could you lock your hand? Lock your hand, the glass is gone and the child is quiet.
You need to know how to deal with in a way that they understand.
Correct. So it's not their mistake, it's our mistake. We don't know how to handle them. We as adults, okay, kids, they handle each other very well.
They speak each other's language in a way.
True. I mean, when it was Saket, so when he gets little hyper and he'll be like jumping like this in the class. So the other child on the 3rd row knows what to do. Saket. And Saket is quiet. I don't need a therapist there.
You just need to find their way of communication.
And this is what I want everybody to learn.
Yes,
It's not that you are doing Daya Maya to the entire world.
It's basic
it is
humanity.
Just the basic humanity. If you know that your child needs to go to the washroom, you have to show an arrow. Ki udhar jao. Similarly, if the child is not able to handle his anxiety, just learn it. It's not difficult.
Right.
I want people to learn.
Definitely. I mean, as you said, our surrounding has a lot to do with how we grow up as individuals. So, I mean, for them too, when they're kept in a cocoon, which mostly they were up until a few years ago, they somehow, I think, sort of, they lack self-confidence. Maybe they're not able to speak up.
We tag them as pagal, special, समझता नहीं है. Why? तुमसे ज़्यादा समझता है. Is a fact.
True.
I mean, in a school, a teacher would say, "Oh, you put him later. Let me finish the whole chunk first." Why?
Right.
Just because he's going to take 5 minutes, then 3 minutes? Don't do that. Take 5 minutes.
Take extra time. So it's a small thing that's matter
Very
in
small,
the end.
very
right?
petite. I mean, let's say the whole class is walking in the line. Why do you want him at the end? Why can't you put him in the beginning? Your mouse is anyways going to go with the children. Just let the hand be there and there. Just imagine what kind of help are you giving him by putting him in the first line, in the same line as the first child, in the same line as the last child. Last child, he'll not walk, he'll forget. And he'll abscond the class. Then you search. Then you put him back to the class. Just put him in the beginning. The whole class is there to assist you.
We need to make those small nudges, not be so
Huh.
uptight with certain rules sometimes. It's actually,
I mean, rules are made for our benefit, and if we don't know how to benefit ourselves, it's our mistake,
it's
not
our
the
fault
rules mistake.
actually. I mean, you need to find some loopholes in rules and adjust them according to the situation, right? All the time.
I mean, the same thing, out of the box.
Out of the box. I think I'm very glad to like social media, and because the awareness for such like what's happening around us and how to deal with it is also increasing vastly. Me being from this generation, I'm more in touch because of a lot of awareness on social media. So I think that is great. And ma'am, you're doing a wonderful job. I mean, kudos to you along with your profession personally, and then you take joy in this, and I can actually see how much joy you take in it. I'm sure these children have a lot of gratitude in a way that they express to you.
I just want everyone to become independent.
True.
For this particular aspect that everyone should know how to deal, I have recently written a book.
Oh, lovely.
Not So Different Faces, which tells, I mean, even if it's you who's reading, I'm reading, or anybody else who tells you every small way how to deal. If this is a situation, how to deal. If this is a question of, let's say, radius, how to teach him radius. It's like a big thing. No, just refer my notes, it's 1.5 pages. You'll teach him radius.
There's solutions to everything in that. Small steps of solutions. Great,
So,
ma'am. I think we should all have one of this.
Fun copy.
Yeah,
Very
we should
true.
all have it, ma'am. Definitely. We'll all go to the bookstores and get it. I'm sure. Is it available online?
I haven't launched the book. I'll do it at the end of this month.
We're looking forward to it. I mean, it's a different genre. Something that I don't think has come out yet in the public, not that I know of particularly. So, ma'am, we're really looking forward to your book launch and all the great things that you do.
I just want more and more and more and more kids becoming independent. That's
and I'm
all.
sure they will. I'm sure they will.
Even I'm sure they will.
Definitely.
If they reach me, they will.
Definitely. I mean, in the near future, I can see a lot of kids getting independent on their own, ma'am. But it was absolutely lovely having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to have this conversation with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.